Ray here. We're going to talk about this story that dropped about Tetsuya Nomura. Talking about some details about Remake, the sequel to Remake. This interview dropped shortly after the final trailer for Remake Integrate dropped. Before we get into it though, if you all would, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Kaufman20XX. Thank you all of you all have been showing me support. Subscribe to the channel, throw a like on the video, helps a ton, helps people see my stuff that don't know about me. So let's just get right into it. A little bit of stuff we can dive into here and chew on. I'm going to read the whole interview here. I'm off Famitsu.com. It says, Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate final trailer released. Tetsuya Nomura stated as saying, in the sequel, Cloud is running in the wilderness, running around in the wilderness. I'm kind of paraphrasing because the translation, the Google Translate, is a little wonky. So I'll be paraphrasing a little bit, but we'll stick to the facts of what it says in here. Final trailer of the PlayStation 5's video game Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate, which will be released by Square Enix on Thursday, June 10th, has been released. I think that's Friday here in the US. I'm not sure, but anyway, let's keep going. June 10th. It's coming out June 10th. This was released on the official live broadcast of the mobile game for the mobile game Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier. See the article below for a summary of the live broadcast announcements. I've already checked that out. In the trailer, in addition to the minigame of Fort Condor that was in the original Final Fantasy VII, a battle with the executive of Shinra, Scarlet, the appearance of a new summon, Rama, and the appearance of Nero from Dirge of Cerberus, Final Fantasy VII, etc., was published in the interview. Scarlet rides on a new red boarding machine, a new red mech, and challenges Yuffie and others in battle. Speaking of red machines, it reminds me of the Proud Claude. Okay, Proud Clad is what it says on here, but Proud Claude I think is what it said in the original game, who rode with Heidegger in the original Final Fantasy VII. In addition, Proud Claude number 0 appeared in Final Fantasy VII Remake. But will it be a hint of the future? Okay. Nero is one of the new enemies in Dirge of Cerberus Final Fantasy VII, the deep ground soldier who loves Vice, who has already been announced. I think that should say was Vice's brother or whatever, but anyway, who was already announced to appear in Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate. This is the second appearance from a deep ground soldier. In addition, Mr. Tetsuya Nomura, who appeared as the voice of Heaven in the broadcast, said, in the sequel, Cloud is running through the wilderness. I think I can enjoy it with a different atmosphere from the previous work. Development is... Oh, so he's referring to... He's not director on this, he's producing, so he's kind of enjoying it from a different perspective. Development is proceeding smoothly. Announced information about the sequel. He also said the sequel is a story that starts immediately after Remake Integrate. Okay, so we're gonna get into all this. Okay, so you can check out topics related to the sequel and the final trailer from around. Okay, all right, cool. All right, so that's all the article says. Now, two things I want to focus on. So they do talk about what we talked about in my breakdown, in my trailer breakdown. I said this looks like a prototype for Proud Claude. They're pretty much kind of saying this is like a version of Proud Claude in this article, in this Square Enix article. Okay, so boom, Square Enix. You can go read it. All right, so this is from Famitsu. So I'm not the only one thinking this. So go check the article. Anyway, let's talk about Cloud running around in the wilderness. Okay, let's talk about him. So this goes back to kind of what we've talked about here on the channel, that, you know, my feeling is they've been working on the second game. What parts of the second game, we don't know. They've been working on it since around, let's say, fall of 2019, because we don't know an exact fall. I think fall is a safe thing to say, though, right? Fall of 2019, and we've said here on the channel, they're building the world. They're physically building the entire world, mapping it out. They're not going to just build the parts of the world that the next game takes place in. I feel like, and they might, I could be wrong about that, but I feel like they are creating the entire world so that they can go in and just fill in scenario stuff as they go throughout. And that will make the future development of the game, because they're creating the entire world on PlayStation 5. I do not think Remake Part 2 will be available on PS4. I know that sucks, and I get it. I agree, that totally sucks. But I do not believe Remake's sequel will be available on PS4. I don't. I think it's going to be current gen only. PlayStation 5. Maybe Xbox Series X. I don't know how exclusivity will work on that. It's too early to tell on that stuff, right? What contracts are in place and all that kind of stuff. Only the executives of the companies know that stuff. I do feel like they're creating the entire world. They're creating everything, all of Gaia, the towns, the buildings. They're populating everything. And I think that's smart. And don't show us anything until you have like an area physically built. Don't even show us a teaser until you've got the work you want to get done completed. That's how I feel about it. Claude running through the wilderness. I think that's him teasing it's going to be open world. Open world Final Fantasy VII Remake sequel. FF7R2 open world, baby. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to do it. I think it's going to be open world, and I'm here for it. I'm really excited. I hope that's the case. I really do. I think there are a lot of possibilities you can do with open world Final Fantasy. A lot of meat to chew on. Yeah, there'll be some fetch quests and stuff like that, but there's going to be some extras. That gives us a lot of room for like super bosses out in the wilderness. Different factions and stuff of different people you could fight. Deep Ground. I think Deep Ground is a nice wild card, and they talk about Deep Ground in this a little bit, because if Deep Ground gets out of Midgar, well, you can have Deep Ground cells all over the place, hiding out, camping in the wilderness, hiding in caves that you could go find and have like secret boss battles. Maybe that's how you come across Rosso and the other Civets. Maybe that's how it happens. Maybe I'm way overshooting, right? But that is a distinct possibility. Now, for the other thing that Nomura says, he talks about like he's able to enjoy the development of this game a little bit from a different perspective than the development of the first game. I think that's cool, because I think, as a producer, he's gonna kind of help sign off on things and offer ideas, but he's gonna leave it to his directors to make their own vision of the game. I think that's great. He talks about the next game will follow immediately after Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. He doesn't say Final Fantasy VII Remake. Now, this could be me making a bigger deal than it is. So before you all come at me in the comments, I admit that this could be overshooting. But what if there is a difference in the ending, the end of the game? What if there is a slight difference in the final cutscene? Maybe what if there's an after credits cutscene? And we've been talking about this. When I first started talking about Intergrade, I said there could be a distinct possibility of a cutscene at the end of Remake Intergrade's credits. It could happen. And the fact that he says the game takes place right after the events of Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, that could just be him promoting the new game coming out and encouraging people to purchase it. But that could be more. There could be more to it. Tetsuya Nomura, he likes to speak cryptically. He likes to throw little things out there, little things for people to be surprised about. So I would not be shocked at all if they do what we've been predicting here on the channel and throw in like an after credits scene, or change or add more to the ending cutscene or something like that in some way. It could happen. It could happen. I'm in for whatever. And plus, we're good. He could be talking about the Yuffie episode intermission. He could be talking about that too. He could absolutely be talking about that. So if you play episode intermission after, consider that after remakes, the breadth of remake. Maybe he means after that. Maybe you meet Yuffie right after that. And that's something else we talked about here on the channel too. You start the first game, and this actually kind of offers credence to that, right? This actually kind of offers credence to that, because I've speculated that they will use Yuffie as a mechanic to wipe your materia. So you will start Remake Part 2 with no materia. I think that could happen. I think they're wandering the wilderness of the wasteland. They're approaching calm, like I've said before. They're approaching calm. Yuffie comes upon them, steals their materia. So for part of the game, you're looking for Yuffie, and you have no materia, so you have to start fresh. I absolutely think that's what they're going to do. I absolutely 110% think that's what they're going to do. We'll see, right? We'll see on June 10th. We are exactly 1 month away. 1 month away, man. That's awesome, right? That's awesome. We did it. We've made it. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Let me know what you all think in the comments. Throw a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the support. Appreciate the hell out of all of you all. Thank you all so much for being here, for all this stuff. It's a lot of fun for me to hang out with you all. Also, check out the Discord if you haven't. There's a link in the description of the video. Growing community on there. Happy to have you all. And until then, until the next video, you will be getting another video later today. You all stay safe out there, be good to each other, and keep rocking. I will see you all in the next video.